Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This channel has always been set up to do long-form investigations. It's what made the Jay Mazzini case so special. So today we're talking about a crypto mystery involving a Turkish crypto exchange where $2.2 billion may have vanished overnight. And there's also an international manhunt going on alongside this that hasn't been solved yet. Let's take a look and see what we can find out.
If you're an investor in cryptocurrencies, this has been a bad week for you.
Thodex is no longer accessible, its CEO is missing, and users are filing complaints alleging that hundreds of millions of dollars have been stolen.
Turkish officials have now detained a number of individuals in relation to Thodex.
And there's just a lot of noise here and a lot of smoke, and I think we're just, we're starting to see a potential fire.
First, a little bit of background. Thodex is a Turkish crypto exchange where people would buy and sell cryptocurrencies. It was created in 2017 by a man named Faruk Fatih Ozar.
Faruk Fatih Özer.
Yeah, like what she said. Look, I'm going to butcher it the entire time through, so just bear with me, but that's how you pronounce the name. I will do my best. Basically, this exchange was well known for its promotions to try to attract new members, and they said they were going to give away millions of Dogecoins for free. And you guys know how much on this channel we love Dogecoins. Here's was their graphic. They said they were distributing millions of Dogecoins, and reports now say that most new users never saw any of that Dogecoin. But this probably wasn't even the real reason people joined anyways. Turkish citizens have a huge incentive to find ways to shelter their money. You have to understand, the Turkish economy suffers from extremely high inflation rates of 15% a year and higher. I think at one point it was 32% in a single year. So it's a no-brainer for many people to want to find a place to park their money so that their assets don't suffer from that inflation. It just makes sense. So understandably, Thodex grew quickly, amassing over 700,000 members by April 21st, 2021, when suddenly everything stopped. This is what you got when you went to their homepage. Let's go to the board. Dear users, since 2017, we've been providing quality service to you and working day and night to increase our service quality even more. Based on the satisfaction of our users, we have made many innovations to our country so far and have become the first licensed Turkish company in the sector globally with the license we received from the United States of America. World-renowned banks and fund companies, whose name we will announce when the agreement process is completed, have been wanting to invest in our company for a long time and offer partnership. In order to provide better service to you, it has been decided to evaluate the partnership offer positively. In order for this process to be completed, the transactions must be stopped and the transfer process must be completed. The process will take about 4 to 5 business days. During this period, regular information will be provided to our users. Now, that's all kind of corporate jargon for we're stopping transactions for 4 to 5 days while this supposed merger is happening with, quote, world-renowned banks and fund companies that we can't disclose to you right now. And understandably, this is a little cryptic and people start immediately panicking because look, crypto isn't new to exchanges going bust overnight. Mt. Gox, Quadriga CX are just a few examples of how you can lose millions of dollars in a flash. So immediately investigations start. First, Bloomberg picks up the story and it immediately goes viral. This is the first story reporting on this that I know of, April 21st. And the next day, the story gets even more damning. A photo of the founder, Faruk Ozar, was snapped at the Istanbul airport, apparently fleeing to Albania. This is where people start going completely insane because people realize, look, if this guy's pulling an exit scam, it could be worth billions of dollars. Now, at this point, you may be convinced that he did steal the money and is on the run. And apparently officials were pretty convinced as well because at this point a warrant goes out for this guy's arrest and they freeze his accounts. But this is where the story, of course, gets weirder because the next day Thodex re-updates its website with another cryptic note. I guess they're trying to address the speculation here. Now, I'm not going to make you read this whole thing. It's quite long. Basically, it says, look, this deal with investors is very real. He's not fleeing the country. According to him, this Faruk guy, he is simply having final meetings with investors. He also states that the $2.2 billion that was claimed to have been stolen, it's overblown. Although at the same time, he says at most it was probably millions that was stolen, which I'm sure was comforting. He then wraps it up by accusing the press of creating a self-fulfilling cycle because if his accounts are frozen, the company can't continue its commercial life, thereby I guess, proving the cynicism right in the end, because the cryptocurrency exchange will crash either way. So basically, he's not a scammer. He's a victim of the media and a reactionary government. Now, I think the most interesting thing in this statement is that Farouk says he will return to Turkey within a few days and will make the facts come to light. Now, this statement was made over a week ago, and Farouk has not returned to Turkey like he said he would. But meanwhile, the manhunt for him has intensified because, according to reports, Turkish authorities detained at least 83 people over connections to Thodex. More recently, his sister and brother were arrested as well, and Interpol put out something called a red notice on him, which is like an international fugitive notice. But where does that leave us, right? Is Farouk Ozer a victim or a villain? I think several clues can point us towards the answer. Besides the anonymous investor sketchy freezing of the accounts, I think we can have a real answer here. Our first clue comes from Whitestream. This is a company that basically digs through blockchains to find out, sketchy patterns of behavior. And according to them, from August 2020 to February 2021, an estimated 5,000 Bitcoin, which is $125 million, were sent from Thodex Turkish exchange to Kraken FX, another popular crypto exchange based here in the States. They accuse Thodex of a cash out operation, and they of course list some blockchain samples for other people to look at. Now, I don't think Thodex probably has a good explanation for this. Maybe it's another cyber attack on them that they will disclose to us, but there's an even more damning piece of evidence, believe it or not, that this was totally coordinated. On April 16th, before the collapse, Turkey had announced that they were banning crypto payments, coming into effect at the end of the month as part of sort of a regulatory crackdown on cryptocurrencies. How ironic that this whole thing would come falling apart, sort of proving them right only a few days later. The day after this announcement, April 17th, a Twitter account named Cedric Gerard, right here, noted that Thodex started selling Dogecoin for 30% under market price and was withholding the coins when people tried to recover them. Sounds like an escape strategy. All this coinciding with the Doge pump. They traded $500 million of Doge within 24 hours. And then you can see right here, it is timestamped. This is before the crypto exchange basically goes bust. And this is massive because it shows definitively that they were luring investors with cheap rates and withholding withdrawals apparently before the collapse ever happened. In other words, possibly trying to extract the maximum amount of value from their clients. Again, look right here. You don't have to trust me. Look at the exchange. Thodex was quoting Doge at 20 cents while everyone else was quoting it anywhere between 27 cents and 29 cents. There's no reason that this should be the case unless something very fishy is going on. Now, on those days where Dogecoin was so discounted, how much volume did they do that day? It was record-breaking $1.7 billion. Now, what does all of this mean, right? I think it's clear that Farouk knew this was coming and manipulated the exchange to steal from users before running away. Not only that, there's evidence he had been stealing from people the whole time, as early as February of 2020. But where does that leave us, right? What can we learn? Because the international manhunt's going on, but we have no idea whether they're going to catch Farouk at all. They haven't caught OneCoin's founder. They haven't caught Quadriga CX's founder. I think we can learn two things either way. Number one, don't fall for fancy deals at sketchy exchanges. It's really common for people to sign up and deposit money with completely unreputable exchanges, all because they want to save a few pennies. Buyer beware, this is often a trap. If you see your favorite coin listed for cheaper than anywhere else, it's probably because no one trusts that exchange, just frankly, and that's a good reason that you shouldn't either. The second thing you should learn definitively is that you have to own your own wallet, ladies and gentlemen. It's a hard lesson, and I'm not sure how many times we're gonna have to relearn it. No crypto exchange is immune from hacks or criminal founders. And if you leave your crypto with one of these exchanges, it is not safe and it is not insured. Invest in a cold wallet and store your crypto safely offline. Otherwise, you may be caught holding the bag like these Thodex victims, and you have no recourse. These people, their money, it's probably gone. Or in the best case, it's locked up for years as the government, if they ever find this guy, tries to give back the money. Now, all in all, that basically concludes our Thodex investigation, but I do hope you take these lessons to heart. Do not trust sketchy exchanges, no matter how good their prices are, and store your money outside of these exchanges, either the hot wallets or the cold wallets. Either way, they're centralized at these institutions. You cannot trust them. I'll continue to update you as we learn more about this Thodex situation. So if you'd like to know more, subscribe. You can hit the bell. Either way, guys, I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed. And that's basically it. I'll see you guys in the next one.
I know what you mean. This ain't what it seemed. Nothing but a trick. Trying to sell me on a dream. But that was where you lost me. Wake up and smell the coffee.